Why, hello there everyone. I'm Laxow, aka the Kumo Sensei. Minasan, konbanwa. And good evening, or good afternoon, or maybe good morning, depending on how I get this editing done. But without further ado, today we're breeding our Pterinochilus murinus, also known as the orange baboon tarantula, or the OBT. So this breeding actually took a very long time, which is why this video is a bit late, and also I had an appointment to attend to because I had to get a surgery to remove something. It's nothing too serious, just a small removal, and work as well, which is why this video is a bit late, but here it is, and let's get straight into it. So this breeding actually took 3 hours. Yeah, there was so much footage, and my camera almost died as well during this recording, to the point where I have to pretty much pick and choose what I want to show and what to cut out for this video, because I don't want to show a 3-hour video of just tarantulas moving around tapping one another, because it was a bit hectic, I'll tell you what, especially since we're working with OBTs. But the good news is that there was an insertion, but the male got eaten. No, I'm kidding. The male survives, as always. I'm pretty good at what I do, so this male does come out alive. So skip to this time period if you just want to see the insertion to save you the time, and let's get straight into it. So in my experience, when it comes to breeding OBTs, I don't really find them too difficult to breed. The only thing I find difficult at times is when I'm introducing the male into the female's enclosure, and the reason why is because males can be a bit skittish, or they get startled pretty easily at times to when you try to coax them into the female's enclosures, and when they do get startled, they run pretty quickly and all over the place, and sometimes they accidentally run directly into the female out of fear when you try to coax them in. So my advice if you're breeding the species is to be gentle on the males when you're introducing them to the female's enclosure, just so they don't get startled and run directly into the female. So some of you viewers may be wondering, since I've worked with this species in the past already, and I did produce a sack here on this channel, I'll leave a video on the top right if you're interested. So some of you may be wondering, have I ever had an aggressive female or a female that tried to eat a male when it comes to the species? And in my experience, breeding OBTs, I've never really had a bad experience of a female wanting to eat a male both once. But pretty much I saved the male, and then I spent 2 to 3 days feeding the female up, and then I tried again, and before I know it, the female was very cooperative. So overall, in my experience, they're not the most difficult tarantulas to breed, but I can see why some people may find them challenging or pretty much difficult to breed in terms of pairing. So this OBT breeding project is actually one of my side breeding projects, and I wasn't too sure if I wanted to show this or not on YouTube, because I've already produced a sack here on the channel already, so I don't want it to become repetitive on the channel, so I wasn't really too sure, but then again, I was like, why not? At least it's not curly hairs. No offense to curly hairs, but they're oversaturated. So yeah, so that's why you're seeing this video. So my side breeding projects, I don't really show them because they're pretty much species that are commonly bred, or everybody has, or pretty much species that may be considered saturated. So I don't really want to show them too often, or also for the fact that I really just want to test out the waters on species that I never dabbled into before in terms of breeding, and those are my side breeding projects. So a lot of my tarantula breeding videos that you see on this channel, they're mostly species that I'm either interested in, or I find fascinating, or are very unique. But for the most part though, when it comes to a bunch of the normal stuff, I try not to show them too often. Now don't get it twisted, I actually do like the hobby staples, such as the striped knees, the curly hairs, and the pink toes, so don't think that I don't like them. It's just the fact that I really just want to show more, if you get what I'm saying, like more diverse species. Now when it comes to my breeding projects and everything I breed, mate, and whatnot, I do not make any promises that it'll work out at the end, because anything can happen. This is why I show you guys my mistakes, the bad egg sacs, tarantulas eating their own egg sacs, and things not working out, because it's all part of the process. You gotta embrace both the good and the bad. A bad tarantula breeder will hide their mistakes and only show the good. A good tarantula breeder will show you their mistakes and the things that don't work out and their failures, and embrace it. And I am not afraid to show you my mistakes, because a lot of tarantula breeders, whether it's me or somebody else, even though they have a lot of slings, a lot of good egg sacs and whatnot, they also have a lot of failures, a lot of bad egg sacs, and they're pretty much just like you and I. We're human. It's all a never-ending learning process here. But anyhow though, one question I do get asked quite a bit is how come my males never get eaten, and the answer is simple. You just gotta get good at what you do. And for me, I'm a very good and very experienced tarantula breeder. And yes, I do have mistakes, but I also have a lot more successes than mistakes. So it's, for me, my males usually come out alive. I think I only had one instance or maybe two instances of a male getting eaten, but pretty much 99% of the times, my males all do come out alive. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I do want to start a business and selling tarantulas at shows, but then again, I'm still too small and the cost is pretty much still too high to where I can't really get to that point yet, and that's gonna take a couple to maybe a few years before that happens. And the ultimate dream, which I say this sarcastically all the time, is to have a breeding facility. And trust me, that is an impossible dream, but if someday it does happen, and if this channel grows big enough to where maybe it can actually support funds to, pursue that dream, I would be the most happiest person in the world. And the first thing I would like to do is pretty much deflate and try to stop the inflating rising prices here in the United States of tarantulas. But hey, a man can only dream, right? And who knows, maybe this channel will actually grow big enough to where it can exceed those expectations. And this channel has actually passed 900 subs. We're so close to 1,000, guys. I'm truly thankful for everybody for sticking around this far and this long, because I have been doing YouTube videos for a very long while now. So if you want to support me and support the tarantula breeding community, by all means, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I upload every single Tuesday and Friday here on this channel, and also support me on my social medias such as my IG and Patreon. And shout out to my Patreon members because they actually keep my tarantulas fed and they keep me going as well. Links to everything is down below. And with that, stay lax and Laxow out from the Kumo Sensei.